Christmas story. When I was little, Christmas was my absolute favorite holiday. I didn't really like the visiting relatives and the invasive kissing, but I love the suspense of encroaching Christmas morning and the presents. One Christmas day, when I was about 7, I woke up about 3 a.m. It wasn't unusual or anything. All kids wake up a few times before Christmas morning. That night, I decided to get up and check to see if Santa had come yet. I walked downstairs and was halfway down the steps when I looked over at the Christmas tree and saw something. It was my parents. I could recognize them by their bathrobes, which were illuminated in the pitch dark just enough to see by the dim lights of the Christmas tree. They were standing next to the tree, back to me, just looming over it. Usually I would have called out to them and asked what they were doing, but seeing them just standing there in silence, backs hunched slightly over the Christmas tree, sent shivers down my spine. I decided I didn't want to know what they were doing, and instead went as quietly as I could back up the steps and turned down the long hallways in my room. I noticed that the light in my room was on. However, I saw some shadows growing on the floor outside of my open door. Shadows of whoever was there. What I saw next made my heart drop. My parents came out of the room. They both came over to me and scolded me for getting out of bed, reminding me that Santa doesn't come unless you're asleep in bed. To this day, I still have no idea what it was. The two figures I saw next to the tree. What were they?
I'm really not sure where to begin here. I suppose last week is a good place as any. I'm sorry. I can't. I need to gather myself. My name is, and I live in. Things have been a bit rough this year, and so I started looking around for any way to earn some money for Christmas, so that I could buy some gifts for my family and friends. I tried finding a part-time gig that I can do on weekends, but it seems that everyone else has the same idea. I put in applications everywhere, but no one seemed to be hiring. A couple weeks ago, I was having a beer, and a good friend that works at university, and told her about my troubles. She said that some of her colleagues were looking for some test subjects for an experiment. She assured me that it was nothing that could hurt me, and it paid well. $2,500. In fact, there was a fair shot that I would simply be in the control group. Because of the nature of the test, she couldn't tell me exactly what it was immediately, but I was definitely interested. I told her as such, and she said that she would see what she could do. A week later, I got a call from the university that they were interested in having me as a test subject. I received an appointment at the physics department for later that afternoon. Upon arrival, I was taken to a conference room where the project lead spoke with me about the experiment. He said that they would not exactly tell me what the experiment was, because my knowledge of the experiment would affect the outcome. Basically, they needed me as a blind subject. They assured me that there was no chance of any harm coming to me, and the money was just what I needed, so I agreed. There was a lot of paperwork that I had to fill out. Things like NDAs, liability waivers, etc. All of the usual stuff that one would probably expect. After filling out the forms, Professor took me to the lab where the experiment was to be performed. They secured my arms and legs to it with leather straps. They assured me that this was simply to prevent any movement that could throw off the experiment's results. I wish that I hadn't been so gullible, but it made sense at the time. I figured that they were just testing some kind of new MRI or something like that. Anyway, there was a stand in front of the chair that had what looked like an iPad attached to the top. I asked what it was for, but they just assured me that it was necessary to the experiment. The doctors left the room and the door was sealed. At this point, I was starting to get a bit nervous. Fortunately, I did not have to wait long. The professor's voice announced over the intercom that the experiment would be beginning. The lights dimmer for a moment before a hum began to fill the room. The hum grew and it felt like the entire room was vibrating. Hell, I could practically see the air itself vibrating. This continued until I was sure that everything was going to fall apart and that I would be shaken apart. Just when I thought I could take it no longer, there was a very bright flash and a loud clanging sound. The hum cut off immediately. The professor's voice came over the intercom to let me know that the procedure was complete. They released me from the chair and retrieved the iPad from the stand. They told me I was to use the iPad to log any unusual experiences or feelings that I had. So that was about a week ago. And things have been getting weird since then. At first I chalked it up to my mind playing tricks on me and made notes in my iPad, but now I think it's something more. At first it was small things. I would wake up and my phone wouldn't be where I left it, or the TV remote would be somewhere else. The next day, the table beside my bed was on the other side of my bed. The day after that, my car was red instead of its normal black. I made careful inquiries, but no one else seemed to notice these changes. Today I woke up, and my room was reversed. It was like I was in a mirror image of my house. Everything was flipped to the other side of my house. Even the stairs went down the opposite side of my house. I admit it. I freaked out. I freaked out so much. When I finally got a bit more composure, I tried to contact the project lead, but the university informed me that there was no professor by that name at the university. But I'm not sure what's going on here. I checked my bank account and it said that $2,500 had been transferred, and I can't contact my... I spoke to my friend about the study. She said that she had no idea what I was talking about. Am I going crazy? What's happening? I'm almost afraid to go to sleep.
I smoothed out my red velvet dress. Mommy picked it out for me. She said that she used to wear almost the exact same dress when I was younger. I feel like a candy cane with my brand and new shiny white shoes. My hair is all done up with sparkly clips. Mommy let me wear makeup this year. I did it just the way she does, with a shimmering lip gloss and a lot of blush on my cheeks. I'm 9 this year, and I know it's going to be the best Christmas ever. Christmas has always been a big deal in our home. We decorate the entire house with tinsel and twinkly lights. Mommy brought home a big tree that's taller than I am. We spent an entire weekend filling it with ornaments. Our house looks like Santa's village. I think Christmas has been always a big deal because it's also my birthday. Well, Christmas Eve is my birthday. So instead of waiting for Christmas morning, Mommy said I can open presents the night before. Some of the girls at school think it'd be bad to share your birthday with Christmas since you'd get less presents. But Mommy always gives me the best gifts. Last year, she got me a puppy. Tonight is Christmas Eve, and Mommy has gone all out this year. Mommy tells me that Christmas is about family, and that presents are just an added bonus. But it's hard to not get excited. She always gets me the best stuff. Plus, I got Mommy something special too. Under the tree are lots of presents. I get lots of new clothes and jewelry. Mommy also got me my very own makeup kit. She helps me put even more blush on my face. Now we have the same matching rosy cheeks. I saved the biggest gift for last. The box is huge. It must be at least 3 feet long.
This is a very special present.
Mommy tells me.
You must be careful while opening it.
I slowly unwrap it. The paper comes off easily. Maybe it's another puppy. I lift the top of the box. and inside I see a doll. She's so lifelike. I reach in and touch her, but then suddenly I realize she's breathing. I gasp and draw away. Is she real? Mommy chuckles.
Yes, Joy. She's your new little sister. Her name is Charity.
She couldn't be older than 4. She was wearing a frilly blue dress and has soft red hair. My hands start to shake, but I still reach in and stroke her face. She is cold, but breathing. Her hands and feet are so small. Mommy sits behind me, smiling.
I've given her a sleeping pill so she won't wake up for a few hours. But once she wakes up, we can dress her up and introduce her to her new house.
Where did you get her? She's perfect! I can't stop petting her. She swats my hand in her sleep.
Mom, just like where I got you.
Mommy rubs my back lovingly. I frown a little. What if she doesn't work out, like my last little sister? Mommy sighs.
It's always a risk when you're shopping for new babies. That last one was just too noisy. I had to throw her away, but this one came without a fuss, so I think she's going to be perfect.
I smile wide. Thank you, Mommy. You're the best mommy in the world. I wrap my arms around her. I leap up. Oh, and I have a present for you, too. I've been keeping it a secret for a long time.
Oh?
Mommy laughs. Yeah, it's in the basement. Mommy picks up Charity and slings her over her shoulder. The little girl's body flops like a rag doll. I grab Mommy's hand and we go down to the basement. It smells so bad in there. Neither of us spend much time down here. That's why I knew this would be a perfect place to hide her present. I turn on the lights and yell, "Ta-da!" The light illuminates a sleeping man slumped on the floor. He's tied up to the radiator with my jump ropes. Boxes of cookies scatter the floor. I plug my nose. The man went to the bathroom right where he was, and it smelled terrible. I started to cry a little. Mommy, I'm so sorry, Mommy. I told him to keep himself clean. I stepped forward. Wake up, Daddy. You have to meet Mommy. The man doesn't stir. I feel mad at him. I kick him a little. Wake up, Daddy! Mommy puts a hand on my shoulder.
Oh, Joy. This is so thoughtful of you, but did you give him water?
I look up at her, tears in my eyes. I gave him plenty of cookies so he wouldn't get hungry.
Silly girl. Daddies need food and water.
Mommy is smiling, so I know she's not mad at me.
It looks like we may have to throw this daddy away. He's gone bad.
I pout. I tried so hard to get you a good present. I did all the tricks you taught me, and I got him into the basement and everything.
It's not your fault, Sugar Plum. Finding the right daddy is very hard. You know this. I've been trying for years.
She tussles my hair.
I'll get rid of this daddy for you, and then we can play with your new little sister.
Okay. Mommy takes my hand and we walk back upstairs. The lights are still twinkling and it makes me feel a little better. I'll get her a good present next year. I'll get her 10 daddies. And maybe one of them can tell me why my puppy won't wake up.